Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Forces. What an absolute pleasure it has been to be here at the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters Conference right here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland. We are embracing excellence here. Three big themes we talked about all day. That is talent, technology, and technique. I like meeting these folks one by one, and on that note, why don't you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us what you do.
My name is Mark Gillingham. I am the president of ACOA Tech. We are an additive manufacturing technology company. We service the healthcare market. In addition to that, I've just recently spent 8 years as a representative for Newfoundland and Labrador on the National Board of Directors with the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters. I still sit on the Newfoundland and Labrador CME Advisory Board, and I also chair the Atlantic Canadian Advanced Manufacturing Cluster as part of NGen and CME.
So you're married to this stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm all in at this point. Yeah,
you're all in at this point. Talent, technology, and technique. Those are the big themes of this. Talk to me about those three separately. Let's talk about the conversation around talent that you guys had.
So, I think we have lots of talented people in our workforce. The problem is, well, I'm saying lots, but one of the big challenges we have in the manufacturing sector and many other sectors is that we just don't have enough of them going forward. And so, what we've done is with the CME is to create programs to allow for upskilling of those talents, to basically try to superpower them, to get them, lean manufacturing, continuous improvement. All those techniques are foundational to not only manufacturing companies, but any company in general. And ultimately, it's about taking the workers that we do have, upskilling them and getting the most out of them, and allowing them to professionally develop throughout their career, which is meaningful to them as well. If you want to keep employees these days, you can't let them be stagnant and feel that they're not in a place where they're continuing to grow. So that's kind of point one. Then we have technology, and on the technology side, AI is obviously the big topic of the day, and we had just a phenomenal guest speaker in Seamus Blackmore here today, who's the CTO with Trudell Health, and just his ability to frame what AI is, how it's applicable to our membership and just people in general. It was a world-class presentation without a doubt. And what we've heard and learned then from our panelists who've now participated in the CME and Kean College AI for Manufacturing training program is that it really hits the front line of productivity and supercharging, as I said before, our staff. And thanks to the province of Newfoundland and Labrador for supporting that program, it's really enabled us to deliver 350 seats to the Newfoundland and Labrador manufacturing sector, and really again level them up so that they can start to have conversations inside their organization about how AI is applicable to them. And then, the technique is really the process at the end of the day where I'd say the rubber hits the road and where all this comes together. And, here's where, again, the CME training programs where we actually get hands-on with you in your shop, and we bring in our facilitators to teach these programs, to help you walk through your processes, how to actually implement lean and do all of those things. And then we heard today in the panels, just phenomenal things happening across the board, from, metal fabrication places in Labrador to, across the island and obviously here locally in St. John's, about how they're using these tools and programs to improve their organizations. So, it's a virtuous circle, I would say, at the end of the day. First of all, you need the talent to actually drive and grow your company. You now need to be in technology empowered. That's not optional anymore. But then how you actually run those programs from a technique perspective is always very important. So, within that whole circle, the CME is there to support companies along the way.
I tell you, it's been a fascinating day for sure. I'd like to draw your attention to one last thing, and that is the keynote speaker today. Talk to me about that.
For anyone who was in the room, I got emotional. Alvin is someone that first and foremost is just a world-class speaker, motivational speaker, and the fact that we were able to bring him here today, belly laughs and tears and everything in between. But the thing about it is that Alvin has a disability, but that's not why he was here. Yeah. And I think that's the key takeaway, is that he was here because he is a phenomenal speaker, who has went through some challenges in his life, but was able to persevere and overcome, and just have a lot of lessons for everyone in the room. And I don't think there was a person in attendance today that walked away from this not completely motivated and also just inspired by what he had to say. And at the end of the day, I've made a very good friend going forward, and someone that I hope to connect with for a long time. He's just a phenomenal human being.
What I saw in him is no different than what I saw in Newfoundland and Labrador, and that is a true acceptance to be vulnerable, an incredible amount of resiliency, right? And again, I'm talking about both Alvin and Newfoundland, and not only that, but a true passion for what you do here in this province, and CME is no exception to that. People that I spoke to are passionate about what they do, and so it's just been an overall a fantastic event. Thank you very much for your conversation.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you very much.